In this video, I'm going to be dissecting the gym launch funnels that Alex and Hormozi use to scale the company. I believe they did over $100 million in sales with Gym Launch, which is essentially a consulting / education / info product company that helps gym owners launch and scale their gyms, get more clients, run their operations more smoothly, etc., etc. Now, Alex Hormozi is like a super interesting case because for the most part before a year ago, unless you were in like the fitness / gym industry, or maybe in like if you're super involved in the ClickFunnels world, you probably haven't heard of him before. I believe I've seen his face around over the past few years, but I only actually knew his name more recently, maybe around a year ago, just under maybe like 8 months ago, when he released his book, $100 Million Offers, right? Really great book. You should go and read it. It teaches you how to create a irresistible offer for your clients. So especially if you are in the digital marketing space, you're selling courses, information, consulting, or you're an agency, then that book's going to help you a ton. But today I'm going to be running through basically the funnels that he used to scale Gym Launch, dissecting them and talking about why they work so well. So he used multiple different funnels over the years, but I'm going to break down the top 3 that he used to grow Gym Launch. And I'll run through them in detail in a second here, but there's the 3 funnels that are webinar funnels, a case study funnel, and then a book funnel as well. Again, he used different challenge funnels, he used different funnels, but these are the 3 ones that we're going to study today because it's the one that he seemed to have used the most to grow the company. So, first one was a webinar funnel. So a webinar is essentially where you promote and advertise a free training. People register for the free training, you show up, you teach for around 60 minutes, and then at around the 60-minute mark, for the next 30 to 60 minutes, depending on how long you go, you essentially pitch or sell your offer, right? So you get people to register. Now this is as you can see, the opt-in page that he used for his webinar. And you can read some of the copy on the page here. It's pretty well written. I think what a lot of people don't realize about Alex, or maybe they do realize, that he isn't just good at like sales, but he's really good at writing copy. And you can see here that on this page, there is a ton of curiosity used to get people to register for this web class. So my weird way to open gyms making $51,000 before having ever trained a single client. So it's a weird way to open a gym and make 50 grand before you've even trained someone on the gym floor. Super intriguing, super curiosity based. And if I'm a gym owner and I am struggling to grow my company, then I'm like, shit, I definitely want to figure out what this weird way is. And then it says here, how to steal my model no matter what type of fitness business you have. So kind of also appealing for like big gym owners, small gym owners, but also maybe one-on-one personal trainers and people who don't even have a gym. So he's actually opening up his audience a tiny bit here. And you can see here, I don't know if this was I'm sure he did it automated and he also did it live as well. But you can see this one was for June 4th, so it looks like this was a very specific one-time live webinar. So he'd actually go on and teach it live. And then he basically runs through the 3 different secrets that he's going to teach, or the 3 different learning points that he is going to basically teach. So how to open fill your gym to capacity before ever opening the doors, how to sell without ever hearing the word no, how to get unlimited new clients, right? So again, all of this is pure curiosity based. He's not giving anything away. Once you read the information on this page, all you know is that he's got this unique way to grow and open gyms. You actually have no clue what he does or how he does it, which is what the best opt-in pages in the world are based on. It's all curiosity based. One of the biggest mistakes I see with people when they are creating webinar opt-ins or just opt-ins in general is they start giving too much information. They start telling people, hey, you're going to learn this, this, and this, and they give part of it away. And what happens is when people receive too much information on this opt-in page, like here, they're either going to Google it themselves to figure out how to do it, or they are going to feel like they've already heard it before, so they're not going to opt in. So for example, I know what Alex did when he was teaching these gyms how to launch. He would teach them how to run Facebook ads to get leads for the gym. Now, if he said here, how to run Facebook ads to fill your gym to capacity before you've even opened the doors, then they would probably, if someone's reading this page, they would either go to Google and be like, how to run Facebook ads. And they'd be like, I don't need to learn from this guy. I'm just going to Google it and figure it out myself. Or if they've already gone through some training on Facebook ads, or they've already listened to another gym expert talk about Facebook ads, they would go to this page and be like, I've already heard this information before. I'm not going to opt in. So the reason why this page would have worked so well for Alex is because you had no clue what he was going to teach in this web class. Now, unfortunately, this isn't a live page anymore, so I can't go in and actually watch the web class and watch the content. But like I said, I assume, especially at this time where, maybe this was around 2017 he was promoting this. This is where like webinars were really taking off, making a lot of people a lot of money. And they would typically, like I said, I would show up live to the webinar. Alex would teach these free secrets for 60 minutes. And then at around the hour mark, he would go and pitch gym launch, and then people would go ahead and buy. There is one thing I wanted to talk about around this, because I know for Alex, he was actually in Russell Brunson's ClickFunnels mastermind at this point, or the inner circle. And obviously he was learning from Russell, and I believe Russell even told him to kind of go to a consulting model because before that, Alex was doing a done-for-you gym launch model. Now, if you look at the webinar that grew ClickFunnels, the company, to what it was, it looked something like this, right? And you can see here, very, very similar. It's actually identical. He has 100% just modeled Russell Brunson. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. I'm going to explain in a second here. But you can even see from the layout, there's a weird type of picture of Alex. There's a kind of like a weird, strange picture of Russell to grab attention. My weird niche funnel that's currently making me X amount per day. My weird way to open gyms making me this much. And how to ethically knock it off in less than 10 minutes. And how to steal my model no matter what type of business you have. You see, he is 100% modeled the ClickFunnels webinar. And you can see here, secret 1, secret 2, the layout is obviously identical. And the copy is different, but it's still extremely similar. And he's used the same type of angles. Now, I'm actually not saying this is bad. The reason why I'm pointing this out is because there's a weird energy inside the digital marketing industry right now, where people are trying to claim that they are super authentic, and that people are trying to claim that they invented certain marketing strategies. And to be honest, it's just total bullshit. No one is necessarily original. Everyone is basically looking at each other to see what's working and then implemented it into their own business. I was reading even the book from Sam Walton, he founded Walmart, and he basically used to go to his competitors' stores, see what they were doing well, and he would literally copy it for his own business. That is how some of the biggest companies have grown and become successful. Just look at Facebook, or with Instagram, they saw that Snapchat came out. So what did Instagram do? They released Instagram stories. They've seen TikTok blow up completely over the last couple of years. So what have they done? They introduced Instagram Reels. They've basically just copied their competitors because it was working well for them. And that's exactly what Alex has done here. I know him and Russell Brunson aren't exactly competitors, but he's obviously just modeled someone who was doing extremely well. So again, there's some like coaches out there who start getting all pissed that if they see someone has copied the funnel template, or maybe they've copied some of the copy that they have on the sales page. Just look at this guy, Alex Hormozi, probably right now the most respected kind of like online digital marketer. Like everyone fucking loves him. Everyone on Twitter is tossing him off, and he's great at what he does. But even he completely modeled and funnel hacked someone. And right now he's obviously gone more original. He has his own frameworks and he teaches his own stuff. And if he has learned something from someone else, he usually credits them. I know in his book, he credits a couple of different people throughout his teaching, saying like, hey, I learned it from this guy. So he's not trying to like copy or steal or anything like that. But even Alex Hormozi, who grew this company to, I believe it was around $100 million in sales, he did it on the back of basically modeling what worked. And you can see this is like, if there's some coaches, if they were Russell Brunson, they would start throwing a little fucking fit, being like, oh, Alex Hormozi is copying me, he's not a good marketer, he's not good at what he does. Well, no, this is just what happens. This is the game. If you see something is working, then you can essentially copy/model it. So that's just another point. If you are worried that you're going to annoy someone or it's unethical to model someone's funnel, then just so you know, the biggest and the most successful marketers in the online industry do the exact same thing. So I really wouldn't worry about it. So that is the first funnel that he has used. Now we're going to be moving on to the second one, which is the case study funnel. So a case study funnel is essentially where you will get someone to opt in again from an ad or online. You will get them to opt in with their email address to basically get access to a case study. Now a case study is typically a success story of one of your clients, or the success story of your own company, where you basically break down for them like, hey, this is what happened and this is how we do it. So you get people to opt in to get access to that case study because they probably want to learn how to do it for their own company. And then once they opt in, the goal is to essentially, for the most part, get them to book in a phone call with you where you can close them over the phone. So this is what this looks like. The opt-in page, we work with gym owners who can take 50 plus clients in the next 30 days. If that sounds like you, let us send us a case study for how we brought 187 new clients to a gym in San Diego. So this is a case study. How they helped a gym in San Diego get 187 new clients. There's one thing I didn't mention on the opt-in page that is super important, is to be extremely specific, especially when you talk about numbers. If you look at, again, even Russell Brunson's one here, that's currently making me 17,947 per day. If you look, Hormozi's put here 51,191. When you use numbers, you want to be as specific as possible. There's two reasons why. Number one, again, it creates a lot of curiosity, because it's like, well, that's a like very specific number, like what's happening there. But number two, it just makes it more real. Because if he just said here, my weird way to open gyms making 50,000 before, ever training a client, because it's like such a round number, it's very unrealistic that is the actual number that he made, because it's such a flat number. The fact that he goes into so much detail and puts it down to the dollar makes it a lot more believable, and it has a lot more impact. And it's the same here. If he said, let me send you a case study for how we brought in hundreds of new clients to a gym in San Diego, just using the generic term hundreds or 100 or 200, whatever it was, it just makes it not very believable. The fact that he's put 187 is so specific, it's like, okay, well, to use such a specific number, it must be a true story. And therefore, it's going to have greater impact, and it's going to make people opt in. Another good thing what he's done here is we work with gym owners who can take 50 plus clients in the next 30 days. So there's a couple of reasons why they've put this copy here. Number one, it is to qualify people. So they obviously only want to work with people who have the capacity to take on a large number of clients. Because if they take on a gym that is full, then they can't really help them grow, right? So that's the first part. The second part, which is actually the main reason why they would have put this here, is to actually sell. Because you're basically future pacing the type of results they can expect from working with you. Like, we only work with gym owners who can take 50 plus clients in the next 30 days. So that's essentially like, it sounds like they're trying to qualify people, but in fact, they're just selling themselves because they are saying, we help gyms get 50 plus clients in 30 days, which for most gym owners, they will absolutely bite your hand off if you tell them like, hey, I'm going to teach you how to get 50 new customers in the next 30 days. It's like a huge result and a huge promise. So they're actually selling their service without directly selling. You know, they're saying like, hey, we work with these people. It's the same with my agency. If we could say we only work with online coaches who are able to who have the capacity to add 100 clients in the next 90 days. It's basically saying, hey, we're going to help you achieve this, but it sounds like we're just kind of qualifying, when in reality we're selling. So it's like very cleverly written. And then they're advertised in the case study, and then once you press this button, it's going to ask you to opt in with name. It says first name, last name, and email address. Interesting why they would want first and last name, but I thought they would have maybe asked for the phone number here, but it just looks like they are getting their email address. And then when you click this button, you're going to get taken to the next page. And it's what you would call the thank you page. And you can see that it says step 1 of 3, your gym launch video case study is on its way. Check your inbox soon. Next, let's see if we can help. And you can see here that there's a video of Hormozi, and it says hello and schedule a gym launch call. So again, I don't have access to this live page, so I can't actually watch this video, but I imagine he's basically summarizing what is on the rest of this page, where he's probably just explaining more about gym launch, explaining who they help, what pain points they solve, and how they solve them. And if you are interested in learning more, then go ahead and book a call. So this is essentially a sales video, and then underneath it is some pretty well written copy. And we can zoom in a tiny bit. I'm not going to read the whole thing. If we can go in a tiny bit more. But you can see here, do you need more clients but frustrated with marketing that doesn't work? And if you read this copy, it's actually really, really well written. You can pause maybe the video and read it all the way through. But it's, number one, the layout is good. So what most people do with their copy is they write big, long paragraphs and sentences. That sucks, and it's not the right way to write good converting copy. Some of our best converting funnels are basically outlined exactly like this, where it's short, snappy sentences. It makes it very easy to read. It makes it more digestible, and it just looks better on the page. It's not very intimidating to read. If he would have put all of this in like a big, massive paragraph, I would look at that and be like, can't really be bothered to read that. It looks hard to read. But because he breaks it up into small sentences, it makes it flow easier. So if you just read some of this stuff he's written, so it's, I know exactly how you feel. Figuring out marketing that works can be a big pain and expensive. You search online, stare at results, Google ads, Instagram, Facebook ads, referral programs, and weeks keep ticking by. So right now, he's basically just connecting to the pain points. And obviously, again, Hormozi is actually a really good copywriter. He obviously used to run gyms himself. So he knows the biggest pain points, and he knows how to communicate that to his audience. So this is essentially what he's doing here. And he's basically being very specific in what they're experiencing, so he shows that he understands them. There was a saying, and I can't remember who said it, but it's essentially, if you can make someone feel understood, they're going to believe that you have the solution to the problem. So in our marketing, it's basically all our main goal is to make sure that our customer feels understood. And the way you make someone feel understood is by being as specific as possible in showing them that you understand what they're going through. So the more specific you are, the more effective your marketing is going to be. And and the weeks keep ticking. You see other people talking about how Facebook marketing works. Maybe you even have friends who've made a ton of money with their gyms. And again, he basically just goes through a bit of a mini story on the frustrations and the emotions and the thoughts that are going through his head. And then he's put, I know exactly how you feel. I felt the same way with the 6 gyms I own. So again, he's basically stating this so that people don't come to this page and be like, oh, not another fucking guru who has never actually ran a gym in his life, but he's teaching me how to run my gym. So he's putting this in here to just add a bit more credibility, to be like, hey, I own 6 gyms, so I'm not just like some digital marketing guy who hasn't had any real life experience. And then he basically goes into his credibility piece where it's like, over the past 4 years, I've been building, delivering, and packing gyms to the brim, my own and for others. Sick and tired of other fitness gurus taking advantage of gym owners, selling programs, blah, 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 right? So he's just, again, he's basically speaking himself up, beefing himself up, and then tearing down his competition by saying they're selling crap and he's got the solution. And then he basically goes into his backstory of like, he basically went out to gyms and did all the marketing for him, but then it took a tremendous piece of effort. He couldn't do this because it was very manual for him. It took him a long time. So therefore, he's basically gone to a consulting model. And then basically he makes the offer where they can book in, fill out a questionnaire, and see if he can help them grow their business. And he's put here, he's basically reviewed the offer as well. We're a good fit. We'll help you build a complete sales and marketing funnel from scratch that is designed to produce 100 new customers within a month, right? So that's his basically offer. We'll get you 100 new customers within a month. And then it's like, hey, book the application. So pretty well written copy. Again, he will sell pretty well in this video as well. I think the two complement each other. For the most part, people just do sales videos, but I think for all of our clients, the best converting funnels that are like this, case study funnels, are funnels that actually have the video and then also the copy as well. Because people like to read it both, right? There's some people that won't watch the full video, but they'll read the copy. There'll be some people that won't want to read, but they'll watch the video. So having both of these on the page actually helps massively to convert as many people as possible. Let's zoom out now. Then once they'd be like, okay, I'm going to apply to work with these people, or I'm going to learn more about this person, they go to this application page. And I was actually able to find the application page. So this is what it kind of looks like. There's an application on the left-hand side. It looks like it's changed a little bit from that. But you can see here that they've kind of embedded it now, so it doesn't look as ugly as it once did, where all the questions are there. Now they've got like a little scroll feature. And this, I believe, is the video of Russell Brunson, which you can see here. So they've basically got an application just asking people about the business, phone number, name, describe your business, how many clients do you have, what's your current revenue, what's your target revenue, kind of like the basic, what's stopping you from growing, the basic questions that people ask to get people on the phone. I'm not going to dive into the psychology behind these, but it's basically just giving the salesperson enough information so they understand what the person is looking for. But the most interesting part on this page is obviously just like the ton of social proof. So he's basically, on this page, he has sold them on the offer, and that, he has this like unique mechanism for getting gyms results. He sold them on the offer and what he does and who he is. So now he sends people to apply, and a lot of people will in fact come to this page out of curiosity, even though they're not fully committed to booking in a call. And he's just restated his offer again here, 100 plus new clients in 30 days. But there's a lot of people that will be like, I don't really want to spend time like going on a call, like they can't be bothered. But on this page, he absolutely hammers them with social proof. And it's pretty impressive. That's one thing from his gym launch stuff that I've seen, that there are a ton of different testimonials. And I'm sure he's got clients that, didn't make any money, etc., etc. But he does seem to have like a ton of social proof, which is, again, marketing sales 101. You want social proof and testimonials. So he absolutely plasters this page with exactly that. And then once they go ahead and apply, they will book a call. So it's the application page, and then the confirmation page is here. Your strategy session is booked. Here's some homework before our call together. Connect with me on Facebook and private message me here. This is still something that I don't see a lot of people doing, and I think is actually huge as long as you put in the time to actually respond to the messages. Especially when you're marketing to cold traffic where they've never really heard of you before and they don't fully trust you yet. Getting them to private message you is going to do two things. Number one, if you get into a messenger conversation with someone before the call, their chances of showing up on that call have just probably like 10x'd. So that's one of the reasons why he's doing it. One of the reasons why is to increase the show-up rate for these strategy sessions. Because what a lot of people do is they will book the call because they're interested in the offer, and then maybe they book the call for like 2 days' time, but then life gets busy, they forget, maybe they're not as interested anymore, they basically go cold and they don't show up for the session. So it's not uncommon for 20% of these calls for people not to show. So like a show rate of 80% isn't too bad. So what he's done here is getting them to connect with him on Facebook, because number one, if they enter into a personal messenger conversation with him or his page, then they're going to feel a lot more committed to showing up. If I just go through an ad and a sales funnel and I book a call, I can not show, and I don't feel particularly bad about it because I've not had any communication with the person. They don't know who I am. Like to them, I'm just basically like a blank. I'm just, I'm no one, right? So I can book a call and not show, and I don't feel guilty about it, or I don't feel awkward about it. But if I actually get into a personal one-on-one conversation with this person in Messenger and they can see my personal Facebook profile, then I'm going to feel very awkward to just not show to that call. I'm going to feel like a dick. So I'm going to most likely show up if I'm in that Messenger conversation. Number two, it also allows him to message the people 30 minutes before the call on their Facebook and be like, hey, call starts in 30 minutes, just sending you a reminder. Or if it's like 2 minutes past the call, he can send a message on Facebook and be like, hey, I'm on the Zoom call. Or hey, I just tried to call you, like, are you there? So again, that's going to increase that he's able to actually remind people of the call through Facebook Messenger, which obviously nearly like 80 to 100% of Facebook messages are opened by the person. If you're just emailing someone, the average open rate for an email is 20%. So you're much more likely to get your reminders seen by the people who book because you are messaging them on Facebook, which is another obviously genius move. And then the third point, so not only it's going to increase show rate, it allows you to give the ability to remind them of the call, but number three is going to build a lot more trust and credibility. Again, I don't know what his private Facebook looks like. I assume this would be to his personal page, or at least like a business page that is run by him. But I imagine on that page, there was content and information about how to grow your gym. So if I've just come through an ad, I've never heard of this person before, but he's given me enough value and he's piqued enough curiosity that I want to get on the phone with the guy, I'm still going to be a bit skeptical because it's just someone who I've just met off the internet. But if I then connect with them on Facebook, I see their face, I see videos of them, I see content by them, it makes them more of a real person, and it just gives them a lot more credibility and validity. And I'm going to have a lot more trust with that person because now they're no longer a stranger on the internet. They are someone I've seen them on Facebook. I've seen that they are an actual real person. So it makes him become more of a real person. But then also, if he had lots of, high value information content on his profile about how to grow a gym, then again, it's going to increase the trust, which will increase the short rate, which will increase the close rate on the phone. Now, I don't know how long he ran the webinar funnel for, and I don't know how long he ran this particular funnel for. He still is running, or Gym Launch is still actually running the case study funnel. It's a different version, and I'll show you what that looks like in a second. But they're still running this type of funnel. And I imagine they started at this, and then, like most of the digital marketing industry, they shifted to the case study funnel because they wanted to get them on the phone and they could sell super high ticket services. Now, again, maybe on the webinar, at the end of the webinar, he didn't sell and he actually just pitched the phone call and then they closed people over the phone. Maybe he did that because I do know in the beginning he said he was charging like super high ticket, fairly high ticket anyway. I think he started charging like 6, 10, 12K for this sort of stuff for his coaching. So maybe at the end of this webinar, he was already getting people on the phone. But regardless, like I said, most people in the digital marketing industry, when webinars became less effective, most people weren't staying until the end because this was like a longer drawn out presentation. Most people switched to some variation of a case study funnel where there would be a very short sales video that pitches a phone call. Now, the next funnel that he uses after this is the book funnel. So this is essentially a free plus shipping book funnel where he wrote a book. It was called Gym Launch Secrets, basically the playbook, step-by-step, how to launch and grow a successful gym, something like that. And it's basically the offer of you get a free copy, all you need to do is pay for shipping. Now, I don't know the economics behind this, but I mean, shipping is around $10. I think if you're international for these types of funnels, then the shipping is around $20. So, I mean, it's kind of free. It's like a psychological framing of the offer. Like, hey, get your free book, but pay for shipping. And then shipping is like $10. So you're still kind of paying for the book, but just the way it's framed, it will just increase conversions. This has been tested by multiple different people across multiple different niches and industries and offers and books and topics, and still people do this free plus shipping offer for books. So it definitely does still work. Now, I believe we have the up-to-date version of this page. So you can actually still find this funnel. It's changed slightly, but it's still effectively the same. So you can see it here. He basically has like a nice promotional video.
If you've been in the fitness industry, you understand that there's a kind of tire that's so deep that a good night's sleep can't fix. And you always wonder to yourself, like, what am I doing wrong? What's not working?
So again, a well-produced sales video where he's connecting to the pain points, and then he will give some credibility. He's got some testimonials here, and then he will essentially tell you to get his free book, right? And that's the funnel. He basically runs through what they can expect to learn inside the funnel, inside the book. He's got proof, testimonials, and then basically just some credibility stuff of him with all of his clients, Arnold Schwarzenegger with all the money he's raised, giving to charity, and then basically CTA saying, hey, get the book. Just one thing before we dive into the actual flow of the book and why he decided to use this. Again, I just want you to point out, like, this is an example of Russell Brunson's free plus shipping offer for .com secrets. So they're not exactly the same, but it looks very similar again, right? Headline, nice promotional video. You've got the free plus shipping, and it's also a 2-step order form.
I can give you a copy of this for free. But before we do, I want to explain to you really quickly what this book is about.
So again, similar type of like well-produced video, the order form on the right-hand side, and then they basically go into the content of the book. And you can see here that, again, a lot of this stuff, the way Russell has written his copy here, it is very curiosity based to get people to buy the book. So the first thing I tell all of my brand new high level clients to get them generating instant profits, right? So again, you're not giving anything away. You're just saying there's like the first thing I tell all my brand new high level clients. The 5 major old media transitions that I've made making money online easier, faster, and better than ever. Again, giving nothing away. There's no value in that statement. It's just pure curiosity based. And if you go down, it's the exact same thing. My top 5 favorite traffic sources, why I love inquirer interrupts, and how to swipe this effective technique to move your congregation from lollygalleying around to buying your stuff. Again, no value. You don't even know what some of this stuff means, but it sounds cool and it sounds interesting. And the reason why I'm showing you this is because, again, if you look at Hormozi stuff, he does pretty much the same thing. It's a different layout. But again, it's use the 8-step irresistible offer formula. Our proven lead generation scrambler that shows you how to create never-ending high-converting ad variations without expensive software or prior marketing experience. The icing front-end cash process. The cakey recurring back-end. The Thomas Jefferson trainer hack. The free profit maximizing price levers. The money math gym formula. It's all pure curiosity based. The 4-layered wedding cake gym model, right? A lot of this stuff doesn't mean anything to anyone, but it's going to pique your curiosity enough for you to actually go ahead and buy the book. And the reason why this works is because it sounds cool, but it gives no value. And if it was just this on the page, then it wouldn't work. The reason why it works is because they can be super vague with what they teach because they've got the testimonials to back it up. Like, the only reason why someone can write copy like this and it to work so well is because they've got the proof. So you read this and you don't have a clue what any of it means. It sounds cool and it's like, okay, well, I want to make money while customers try out my gym. Again, it sounds good and you're speaking to the desires, but there's no validity to it because it doesn't make sense. It doesn't, the icing front end cash process, what does that mean? But the reason why it works is because when you pair it with this, you look at all these testimonials and all the social proof, right? There's just stacks of it. And you're like, shit, okay, this stuff must work. I don't know what it is. I don't know what he's talking about. But it obviously fucking works. So I'm going to get it. Another thing he's done here as well is that to make this page look better or nicer, what he could have done is maybe stack these testimonials separately. Differently. So he could have maybe put them alongside each other in a grid, maybe put 4 people next to each other so you didn't have to scroll down so long. But this is exactly why he's done it. He's stacked them on top of each other to make it feel like there are more testimonials than there actually are. I mean, he's still got a ton on the page, but if he would have put these in a grid of 4, maybe if I'd have scrolled down the page 1, 2, 3, maybe I would have been done. But the fact that I'm going through these testimonial section and I have to scroll 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I have to scroll over 8 times to get through the testimonials because he's basically put them on top of each other. The length of the testimonial section actually has a huge effect on the impact it has. See, most people won't read these testimonials, but just the fact that they have to spend a minute or two scrolling through them, psychologically or subconsciously in your brain makes you think, shit, there's a lot of fucking testimonials here, this stuff must work. If you would have made this section shorter, maybe made it look a bit nicer by stacking them in a grid of 4 or 5, you would have maybe scrolled through and been like, yeah, there's a lot, but it wouldn't have hit home oh my God, I've been scrolling for 5, 6 times now and there's just stacks of these testimonials. So the way you actually present your testimonials has a huge impact on the effectiveness. It's not just the actual testimonials themselves, because most people won't actually read it. As long as there's a lot of them on the page, then it still has a massive impact on the buying decision. And then he, just goes down, some social proof. So the reason why I assume he would have launched this funnel is because what happens with marketing is you can launch and scale to millions upon millions of dollars with one type of funnel. So I would have imagined he would have obviously made millions of dollars off this webinar. He would have made tens, if not hundreds of millions of dollars off this case study funnel. So why would he release a book funnel? Well, there gets to a point, especially in a specific niche, like Hormozi wasn't advertising to all business owners saying like, hey, I'm going to help you grow. It was just to gym owners. And his ideal customer was like a micro gym owner. So it wasn't like teaching big commercial gyms or people with multiple locations. For the most part, he was teaching like individual gym owners how to launch their gym. So it was a very specific niche. And if you spend millions of dollars on paid advertising to a small niche like that, over time and eventually, everyone who would be willing to opt in to a webinar would have opted in already. There's always a percentage of your market that will react well to a certain funnel, and there's just going to be some people who would just never opt in for a free training. Regardless of if they needed it, regardless of if they were a gym owner and they really wanted to get new clients, there's going to be a percentage of his market that would come to this page and they just wouldn't react to this. They would be like, no, I don't want to register for a free training. There would also be some people that just wouldn't click the ad that was promoting a free training. They would just be like, no, I don't want to sit and watch a free training, even if they needed the service. So eventually, when you run ads as much as he did and you spent as much money as he did on marketing to a particular niche, you eventually will burn out and go through everyone who would be open or willing to opt in to a free training. And of course, he would, I'm sure, split tested angles, copy, headlines, ads, videos. He would have done all of that. Just as eventually there's going to be a part of the market or the part of your ideal customer base that just for whatever reason, they just don't connect with registering for a free training. So what you tend to do, and a lot of big marketers have done this, that after you have basically drained enough out of webinar funnels or VSL funnels, case study funnels, you release something like a book funnel. Because it is a different entry point into your business's ecosystem. So there will be some people that will not register for a free webinar, but they will buy a book. And that's why he's released this, to basically tap into the rest of the market that otherwise wouldn't have entered his business's ecosystem. So now he's appealing to people that would be willing to buy and basically read a book. Now, there's obviously overlap. There are people that would buy this book, and there's people that would and they are the same people that some of them would also opt in for a free training, right? There's obviously overlap. It's not like everything's exclusive. But there are some people that wouldn't have opted in for the training who would want to buy a book. And that's why you see people releasing funnels like this to basically try and capture the whole market. I'm sure he would have released also like 5-day challenges where it's like a free 5-day challenge and they'll help you launch your gym in 5 days. Again, that's a different type of entry point to get people into your business's ecosystem. I'm sure he did like mini courses, challenges, all that sort of good stuff to get more people in. But that's one of the main reasons why people will release this book funnel. And I'm sure after you buy this book, you will be hit with different upsells on what you can buy. And then eventually the main goal, I'm sure, would be to get you on the phone. So that's it. That's a full breakdown of his funnel strategy, how he was able to scale Gym Launch. I believe he did over $1 million in sales with Gym Launch. Primarily, I believe, through the opt-in and the case study funnel, along with the book as well. Now, if you look at some of the stuff he's doing today, it's still fairly similar to the case study funnel. So if we just look at gym launches ads, you can see that they've been running ads. This is one of the main funnels right now. So like gym owners want to add $1,497 per month to your gym. These 7 gyms are already doing it, get the free case study. So it's using a lot of the same psychological principles, right? Calling out their avatar, being very specific with the numbers that they help with, and then basically saying, hey, these 7 gyms, like not these gyms are doing it, like not our clients are already doing it, these 7 gyms are doing it. Again, being specific. And it looks like he's actually put the gym owners here as well. And then obviously you just opt in for the case study. He's also releasing, and I believe these are fairly new funnels as well that he's doing. But you can see 4th of July, which is relatively new. He's actually releasing stuff like this, where it's like 11 useful frameworks we use to make gyms wildly profitable fast. So again, 11, very specific number. And I believe this is another one that he's currently running. The 7 money models we use to scale gyms to over 100K per month, like clockwork. So again, super simple opt-in page, similar to his case study opt-in page. Super simple, like not too much information, just purely based on curiosity. And when you opt in here, you land on a page that looks like this. And it just says here, again, similar kind of like layout to what he had previously. He's not like changed too much, honestly. You can see here, it's just a different step. Your 11 frameworks are on the bottom of this page, but wait, you're only 1 step away from filling your gym in 30 days. So they don't actually have a sales video, which is very interesting. They just send them straight to the application. And then of course, they've still got like a ton of like social proof. They've got a lot of copy and stuff as well, a lot of credibility. So again, they're using some of the same stuff they used on the book funnel. And then you can basically go through and open up this 11 profitable gym frameworks. Now this document, I opened it up, it is super detailed. I mean, I don't know his gym launch secret book. I don't know if they've just taken most of the content from that book and put it into like a PDF, because this book is like 67. This is like a 67-page PDF. It's super detailed. Like there's a lot of information on there. It's not just like some crappy like free download. He's giving them a ton of value. I've not read through it, but it looks like it's going to be super valuable to a gym owner. Because there's this, and then someone is going to download this and they're going to realize that this is for free. They're going to be like, shit, I'm going to go back and apply to work with these people, because if this is what they give away for free, imagine what they're going to teach me inside the like coaching program. So I think his philosophy with this right now is not just where it was previously, hey, case study, sales video to get on a call. They're probably prolonging the sales cycle a tiny bit by actually just giving away super valuable stuff, letting people consume this stuff for free, and then getting them basically to come back and be like, shit, that was super valuable, I'm going to work with you. Similar type of process for this one. So the 7 money models we use to scale gyms are over 100K a month. Once you opt in, it is slightly different, honestly. It's actually telling them to go to, it says here, email too slow, actually I didn't see this. So if you just open this up, similar type of thing. Wait, your 7 money models are on the way, fill out this application first. So pretty similar thing. You can just download these 7 money models. And again, I don't know if it's the same content. Probably not. But super, super detailed. Again, I imagine this is over 100 pages. And it's like a free download that he's advertising. So again, I think he's just taking on his strategy, which he's actually talked about a lot, where it's like, give away for free what others charge for. So I assume at one point this stuff was part of his paid stuff. Again, he's probably just taking it out of his gym launch secret book. I imagine, I haven't actually read the book, so I don't know the content inside, but imagine this is some of the stuff he talks about in Gym Launch Secrets, and now he's like just giving this stuff away for free. You can see there's a bit of overlap, like this was on the other PDF that I was able to download. But I think right now what he's doing, like I said, is just giving away a ton of valuable stuff for free, making it more detailed, more precise, more mind-blowing than anyone else in the space, and then hoping that people consume this stuff for free and they're like, okay, I'm going to pay this guy because if this is what he's giving me for free, then imagine the value inside of his paid stuff. So that's kind of what he's doing right now. But those are the 3 funnels, like I said, that we dissected, that he basically used to completely blow Gym Launch up over the last few years.